All right, welcome back to Trans Guy Reacts. My name is Nick, and I make videos about women's basketball, collegiate or professional. And today I'm doing a recap of the basketball games that were on today, May 21st, Tuesday. Before I get into this video, I make videos for the general public who cares about women's basketball. I don't like to focus on one player or one team, although I am wearing an Aces hat. But I love all the teams. I've been a fan for 20 plus years, so I'm here for everybody. But yeah, if you are a bandwagon fan, you're a new fan who only cares about one team, this ain't the channel for you. Go ahead and dislike this video. Also, homophobes, transphobes, I don't want you here. Racists, go away. Press dislike, go away. But if you are repping, you rocking with a W, you care about the league, you want to learn about the history, go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. I do not have comment section on. That is a great way for me to be bullied by a bunch of trolls, a bunch of 10-year-old trolls, and I don't have time for that. So let's get into this game. Or games rather. A lot happened. So there are 3 games on today. The first one was the Dallas Wings versus the Atlanta Dream. Jordan Canada for the Dream is injured, so she was out of the game. Jaylen Brown, Natasha Howard, and Satu Sabali are also injured, so they were out of the game for the Wings. It was a sellout game for the Atlanta Dream, which I love to see, and the fans were loud. It was a really loud game. I would say for the first quarter, the Wings, it was like even pretty much. The first quarter was even, was going back and forth. But then once you get into the second quarter, the Dallas Wings started to pull away. Arike Agumbawale and Monique Billings were playing extremely well, super well. So love to see that because Monique got traded from the Los Angeles Sparks. But it was, she got traded to Dallas, which is interesting, but they're playing in Atlanta, and Atlanta's her hometown. So that's kind of an interesting little circle. And I think she also played for the Dream at one point as well. Anywho, but at the half, it was 48-40. At that point, Cheyenne Parker Tyus had 10 points, Ryan Howard had 8 points, and Tina Charles had 8 points and 7 rebounds. So pretty even scoring. Even, Cheyenne with double digits. I'll love to see that. Monique Billings had 12 points and 7 rebounds. Arike had 18 points, and Tiara McCowan had 11.6 rebounds. So very high scoring game for several players at the half. So I can only imagine how this game was going to go. I did see Haley Jones on the floor. She's a great distributor, but when she's not scoring. But I love seeing her in the game and seeing it develop. She's kind of hot and cold depending on which game she's in, but I do want to see younger players in the game more because they just need minutes to get better. So glad to see her there. And then Cheyenne, oh man, she was getting, Cheyenne Parker Tyus was getting some really tough fouls, and she was not taking it well. She was pretty angry about it, and also falling on the floor a lot. I've talked about Cheyenne before. She falls a lot, like a lot. But she's going after the ball, she's making plays, but it's kind of funny how much she falls. I kind of feel like, did you used to play volleyball or something? Like, you fall on the ground a lot, but I love her. I think she's a fantastic player. Naz Hillman got the jump on Tiara, but during the jump ball, she does foul Tiara McCowan, which is so rare. Like, people usually don't, Tiara McCowan's super tall, and she's strong, so shout out to Naz for that. But then Naz makes this crazy steal on Sevi Uzun, and then so I'm loving seeing that defense. But then Naz makes another steal that leads to Ryan Howard scoring, and Monique Billings ends up getting. So yeah, that was like a sequence of events. I really love to see that. Naz, I feel Naz gets quiet as well. Like, she's kind of like Haley Jones, will have a really standout game and then get quiet. Then you had Monique Billings, unfortunately getting her 4th foul, and the score is 62-59. So Dallas is up. It was a really fast third quarter. They were going back and forth. They were running up and down that court. It was intense. Start of the 4th, Naz Hillman gets them the lead, so it's 62-63, and it's the first lead that the Dream have. Oh yeah, was not recording that. It's the first lead they have, in the game, right, since the first quarter. And then, but that's partially because Arike Agumbawale was going cold. So then it's like 71-78 with 4 minutes left. Dream are able to get that lead and maintain it. And then the game is starting to speed up again. It was pretty fast. There was steals, there was fouls. Both teams were just playing super hard. Then it was 76 to 80. There's 1 minute and 46 seconds left in the fourth. So I'm like, ooh, this is getting scary. And then it was 78 to 81 with 29 seconds left. Tier McCowan goes in for a hard foul on Ariel. There's 13 seconds left. It gets reviewed for flagrant, but looked like it was a play on the ball to me, and it was confirmed. It was just common foul. Then Ariel hits both free throws, so then it's 78 to 83. I'm like, okay. They played a really, really good defense, and Enrique could not get off that last shot. So they end up winning the game 78 to 83. Atlanta wins on home. It's their first home opener, so that's fantastic. The box score for this game is the Dallas Wings had Monique Billings had 20 points and 10 rebounds. So she had a double-double, played a fantastic game. Enrique did Enrique things. She had 24 points and 3 steals, but she went kind of cold in the third and fourth quarter. Tier McCowan had 21 points and 14 rebounds. That is a crazy double-double stat. 14 rebounds. And then, I don't know I wrote this wrong or auto-corrected for me. Someone had 9 points on the Wings. I should look that up. I'm not sure who that was. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. On the Wings, let's see. Mary. It auto-corrected to Mary. Who the fuck is Mary? I hate when it happens like that. Let me see real quick. For the Wings. Oh, it was Maddie. Oh my God. It autocorrected to Mary. Maddie Segrist had 9 points. So she was contributing. This is her sophomore year. So love to see, like I said, Haley Jones, these other players, Naz Hillman, people who are a little bit younger, contributing to some minutes and getting some points. Lou Lopez Sinichal barely played in the game. For the Dream, you had Brian Howard. She had 15 points and 10 rebounds, so she had a double-double. Cheyenne Parker Tyus had 16 points. Tina Charles had 12 points and 11 rebounds for a double-double. She is just amazing. She's a goat. She's crazy. Alicia Gray had 21 points and 3 steals. She was pretty effective stealing the ball from Enrique. Ariel Powers had 10 points, and they did not play Letitia at me here. I don't know what that's about. Letitia almost never gets to play, and she's not injured, so I don't know what's going on with that. So that was the first game. Very exciting. I was like, ooh, this is a good start to the day or the evening. I can't wait for the next set of games, which were the next set of games were playing at the goddamn same time. I hate that. This is an ongoing thing. There's so many games. They'll often put them on at the same time. And I'm like, can you at least stagger it? I mean, the first game was on at 5, and I'm like, put it on at 5 and then put the next game on at 6 or 6, and then the next game on at 8. And it's like, no, we're going to put the first game on at 5 and then we're going to put the rest of the last 2 games on at 8 o'clock at the same time. It was like, it's very annoying. So it was Mercury versus the Aces, and the other game that was on was the Mystics versus the Sparks. So I'll talk about the first game that finished first, which was the Phoenix Mercury versus the Las Vegas Aces. This was at Michelob Ultra Arena in Vegas. It was loud. The arena was very vocal. They were lit in there. They were very excited. And I've been into that arena, and I went to the Commissioner's Cup game last year, and it is loud and intense. They do love their team. Kirsten Bell was out with a leg injury, which kind of doesn't matter because she doesn't really play. Like, Becky rarely plays her bench, and she rarely plays KB, so it kind of didn't really matter that she was out. Chelsea Gray is still out, which is a problem, and you'll see why. Brittany Griner was out with a broken toe for the Mercury, but that didn't deter them. Oh my God. So I would say from the start of the game, the offense was really strong on both sides to start. But Mercury was just going on a run and could not be stopped. Aces were not doing really good about the defense. They did point out that it was Nikki Farkas's birthday, and I was like, oh, that's cute. I mean, that's nice. But I'm like, it doesn't seem to be helping them. Because it did not matter to the Mercury. Kalia Copper was just playing ridiculously well. It was the score was really bad actually in the first quarter. It was 17-8 with 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter. I was like, ooh, that ain't good. But the Aces crowd, they were in it. They were cheering. They were chanting defense. And they're just not used to them being down like that. Aces are a dominant team, so they rarely lose. It was 19-12 with 4 minutes left in the game, and they were playing really fast and hard. But Kalia Copper was in double figures in the first quarter. That is freaking crazy. And then Kate Martin got some minutes with 2.5 minutes left in the game, and she immediately stops a layup. So she's doing something right defensively, and the Aces do start to go on a run. But then Kate gets 2 quick fouls. So I'm like, God damn, rookie shit. She's still a rookie. I mean, she gets a lot of praise and excitement because she's coming from Iowa and she has a lot of new fans. But I'm like, she still got a lot to work on. Then it was 25-20 at the end of the first. I did love that they had Sydney Colson in the game. She's affecting the ball. She's having steals. So I want to see her more in the game, but she only gets like 4 or 5 minutes. Jackie Young was going off. She already was in double figures. And this is a side, I was surprised to see Lisa Leslie. She at this Aces game instead of at the Sparks game, which is her team, and she owns part of the team. And I'm like, why are you at the Aces game? Okay, sure. And she was wearing Asia's jersey. I'm like, that's great. Support women, like support all women. But I'm like, shouldn't you be repping the Sparks? So weird. Anyway, and then there was a point where fucking Kelsey Plum, she was going after a ball. She flew into the Mercury bench, going after this ball, knocking over the not knocking over the other coaches, and you could see Christy Toller being like, "What the fuck?" Like, it was like, "Girl, chill." I was like, just crazy. There's a point where Kelsey Plum hits Kalia Copper with a hard foul, and Kalia's on the ground for a while holding her knee, and I was like, "Ooh, that's not good." She goes to the bench in the commercial break, and I'm like, "I really hope she comes back. I hope that's not an injury." But it's fine. Sophie there was a point where Sophie and Jackie Young got in it. Sophie Cunningham and Jackie Young got into it. Jackie Young don't say nothing. But this season, she's been more vocal. She went after the ball. She knocked it out of Sophie's hand. She gets called for a foul. And then Sophie starts talking shit. And Jackie was like, girl, please. And like was talking back to her. And I was like, yes, Jackie, don't be taking no shit. And you see Diana, oh, my camera went off. It is what it is. My light is, let me actually get a different light going because that's kind of annoying when the light goes off. I need light. Yeah, back in business. All right. So Sophie was going off, and then I heard Jackie was like, whatever, girl. I think she said something like, I'm going after for the ball. And then like Sophie's just like, bam, 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 bam. And Diana is literally just smiling. I love Diana. Diana's great. She's the ultimate shit talker herself, so but she was like, ooh, I love the drama. She loves the drama. At the half, it was 46-47. Aces were up, and I was like, okay, maybe Aces are gonna be coming back. At that point, Asia Wilson had 12.6 rebounds. Jackie Young had 19 points. But guess what? Kalia Copper had 20 points at the half, and I was like, ooh, this is interesting. This is gonna be interesting. So, start of the third quarter, Kalia Copper is back in the game. And yeah, mind you, she had that 20 points, and she went out like a couple minutes before the half. So Kalia Copper's back in the game. It is a tough quarter, and both are like trading buckets and playing pretty hard defense, but just it wasn't that good for Aces. And it ended 73-68 with the Merc up. Very intense quarter. Kate Martin gets her third foul at the start of the fourth quarter. Rookie shit. Mercury go on a run. Not having Chelsea Gray, because she's out with injury it's hard because there's not. Chelsea runs the floor, so it's just like if she's not on the floor, it just makes it really difficult for them to get in sync and in rhythm. And she also affects defense too because she steals the ball a lot. So not having Chelsea really hurt them. It was 82-71 when like 8 minutes left in the fourth. And they were up 11 points. I was like, God damn, that's not great. As you can see, the Mercury were just a much better team this year with the new additions of Kalia Copper and Natasha Cloud. Last year, they were definitely struggling, but this year, I'm like, ooh, they're gonna win. They're gonna win a lot of games. I'm surprised. Aces did go on a little bit of a run. It had some good defense, some steals, and they get the lead down to 7 points, but there were some very questionable calls. I would say 2 very questionable bad calls by the refs. Kia Stokes called for a foul that didn't happen. Sophie Cunningham falls out of bounds, and Kia's just standing there, and it shouldn't be a call. It shouldn't be a foul. And they call her for the foul. And I was like, what? And she was like, what are you talking about? There's no foul. Then Natasha Cloud fouls Kelsey on the arm, on the right arm, and then hits the ball out of her hand in the left arm and doesn't get it called for foul, and it's just off of Kelsey's arm. And I'm like, yeah, that is blatantly missed call. So just really unfortunate reffing in this game. It was not in their favor. Then you got they got it down again. Vegas got it down. It was 90-88. So only a 2-point difference with 46 seconds left in the game because Kelsey hits this 3-pointer. So I'm like, oh shit, all right, we got it. Maybe they're gonna come back and win at the end. 46 seconds left. That's a lot of time. No. Then Mercury hit their shot. It's 92-88. 25 seconds left. Then Jackie has this really good look for a 3, but it bounces out. It's so bad. It goes in, it just comes out, and then they weren't able to get the putback. And so they have to foul, and then they end up having to foul a few more times, and so it ended 98-88 as the final. But I feel like it was a really fun game. I was entertained, even though the Aces weren't playing their best. I still enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good game, and because Aces rarely lose at home, so that means Merc were doing quite well. The box score for that: Kelsey Plum had 27 points, 5 assists. Asia Wilson had 21 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 blocks. So she had her double-double. Kia Stokes had 11 points and 6 rebounds. Sydney Colson and Kate Martin both played, but no points on either of them. They did block some shots and had some really defensive stops, though. Although I would say when Kate Martin was on the floor, her plus-minus was -8, and when Sydney was on the floor, her plus-minus was +9, and she had fewer minutes. So I think that is really telling, and I kind of think that Sydney needs to be on the floor more than Kate. I know they want to give her more minutes, and she is good at the defense, but I think Sydney actually is a better player. She's older and she has more experience, but she just doesn't get any minutes. Jackie Young had 23 points and 8 assists, and then Emma Cannon and Deasia Fair didn't play at all, which is not surprising because they are like the backups of the backups. They are the third string, so I don't see Emma Cannon or Deasia Fair playing at all unless there is a blowout. Unless there's a blowout in the game, and so Becky's going to get them in to get minutes and just to get some experience, or someone gets multiple people get injured. Yeah, so don't expect Emma Cannon or Deasia Fair to really play this season. Kalia Copper had 37 points. Natasha Cloud had 11 points, 10 assists. So she had a double-double, 10 assists. That's crazy. Sug Shutton had 12 points, and Diana Taurasi and Sophie Cunningham both had 9 points. Everyone played in the game for the Phoenix Mercury, but Makia Herbert-Harrington didn't score, but she had a couple rebounds, so she was effective. I did watch the post-game interview with Becky, and she was not happy about their defense this game or the last game they played against the Sparks. She said people coming in, having career highs on their floor is unacceptable when you have one of the most defensive teams and players in the league. She named De'Erica Hamby and Kylie Copper specifically about them having career highs on their home floor. It's just not okay. And she felt like they just didn't show up these last 2 games, which I think is fair. The bench also doesn't score much, but she barely plays them, right? So it's how are they supposed to get in rhythm and be effective if they're only on the floor for less than 5 minutes, and then you put the rookie on the floor for 15 minutes, and she makes a couple of plays, but then does a lot of things that turns over the ball, so it's the decisions here too are, partly, I would say Becky is partly to blame for that. So it's coaching also. Asia came out and did a little bit of the interview, and she admits that they weren't, they weren't playing defensive, they weren't there defensively, and that they needed this loss, but she's sure they will get it together. So, taking accountability. So that was the Aces versus Mercury game, and it was fun. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time. At the same time, I had to watch the Washington Mystics versus the Los Angeles Sparks, and that was kind of difficult, but I tried my best. League Pass has the multi-view, so I had both games on at the same time, and I was trying to it was so hard. for that game, Azure Stevens was out with an arm issue, and they were playing in Long Beach again. The crowd was loud. It was a sellout, so that's fine. I'm sad that they're not at Crypto, but I think it's because there's like a venue conflict. There's probably a concert or something like that. I would say in the beginning of the game, I was like, oh no, the Mystics were definitely struggling. They didn't score for the first 3 minutes, and I was like, interesting, having issues there. And then they were doubling Cameron Brink, which I have to say, that means they have a lot of respect for her, and it was effective. It was making her turn over the ball. But like if you're a rookie and you're getting double teamed, that means that they actually think that you're a good player. And this happened too. I remember Aaliyah Boston. She was like so excited to go into the W because she was like, I'm so tired of being double, triple, and quadruple teamed. But then she got to the W in the first couple of games. She was double teamed. So I was like, nope, it's not over yet. So yeah, it's kind of funny. They were definitely trading buckets. I would say it was quite even in that first game, in first quarter, excuse me. And the end of the first quarter was 23-24, so pretty even. But then Lexi Brown goes off, and she ends up in double figures in the by the end of the half. But Sparks just didn't, like, their shots weren't falling in the second quarter. They had an abysmal amount of points. It was something like 8 points. But the Mystics had 13 points in the second quarter. So it wasn't, they both were playing pretty bad in the second quarter. It was 36-32 at the half. The Mystics were up. Lexi Brown had 15 points. Yerka Hamby had 12 rebounds. I think she only had like 2 points. Mystics had even shooting from everyone, but no one was in double figures in any category. But they were still up because it was just more even. The Sparks were fighting, but they just couldn't get that lead down to, like, I think they got it down to like 5 points for most of the quarter. They could not get it below 5. They do end up tying the game with 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. It was 50-50, and then at the end of the third, it was tied 55-55. So they did reel it back, but most of the game they were struggling to get that score like down. They were struggling to get it even, but they did succeed. That's really great coaching by Kurt Miller. I have to say that he's a really great coach. He's good at affecting on the fly. Shakira Austin did play this game. She had managed minutes, but she was playing. But she did end up getting a technical foul after she thought that she got fouled, and she didn't get the call, and so she said something to the refs, and they teed her ass up. And I was like, ooh, Shakira, chill. These refs, they ain't playing. They've been calling a lot of technical fouls actually lately. The Los Angeles Sparks do challenge this offensive foul on Kia Nurse. That was on Stephanie Dolson. Like, Kia was going for a layup, and then Stephanie was coming over, and Kia kind of knocked her arm out of the way during her layup, and then they counted it as an offensive foul. And then Kurt Miller challenged it, and they won, actually. They counted it, and she had made the basket, so they counted the basket as well. So that was great. Then Lexi Brown gets a steal and a layup. That was like super exciting. They were just like, they got the call right. Then Lexi gets that steal and the layup. It was like, wow, the crowd was loud. It was a good time. And then the score is 56-65 with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And I was like, ooh, okay, Sparks are up. What's going to happen here? But the Mystics start fighting back, as they do. It goes, and they get it down. They are fighting so hard that they get it down to 66-67 with 52 seconds left. So this is a wild game. You're like, okay, the Sparks are up. First the Mystics are up, the Sparks are up. Now it's even. Now the Sparks are up, and then now the Mystics are kind of making it even again. So it was just really, really great defense. But the Mystics don't get a shot off, and Lexi ends up hitting some free throws. It's 66-69, 15 seconds left. Okay, 3-point game. Ooh, Arrow Atkins gets a quick 2 points, gets a layup. She does it in like less than 4 seconds. It's really wild. So the score is 68-69 with 11 seconds left. Okay, 1 point lead. They end up fouling Kia's Nurse with 7 seconds left, and she only makes 1 of 2 of the free throws. Very stressful. 66-70 is the score. Then the Mystics take timeout. Cameron Brink does this fantastic block. She blocks twice I think it was Shakira Austin. She gets the block, the buzzer goes off. We're like, oh, the game's over, but no. The refs are like, no, we think there's still time left on the clock. It's like, god damn it, refs, are you serious? And it was 0.3 of a seconds left, which is enough time to get off a shot, but it's like, what? Just the game should be over. Come on. Cam ends up defending that too, and they weren't even able to get the shot up, which I was like, look at these rookies, they are going off. I love it. I love to see it. The game ended up being 68-70 was the final, and the box score for this was, so for the Washington Mystics, Shakira Austin had 12.7 rebounds. Julie Van Loo had 12 points, 9 assists, so she almost had a double-double, which is amazing because she's technically a rookie, even though she's like 31 and from Belgium, but she's an international player, and this is her first year in the league, so she's a rookie. But girl had almost a double-double. Aaliyah Edwards had 10 points and 2 blocks. This great rookie, she's been really effective on the floor, altering shots, really good defense. I'm very impressed with Leah Edwards. I wasn't impressed with her, honestly, when she was at UConn, but I'm impressed with her in the league. Ariel Atkins and Carly Samuelson both had 9 points, but Emily Inksler, Jade Melbourne, and Brittany Sykes did not play, but I think Brittany is injured, but I don't know why Emily and Jade didn't play. For the Sparks, Kia Nurse had 13 points. Cameron Brink only had 4 points, but she had 8 rebounds and 3 blocks. I actually think she had more than 3 blocks, but they only counted 3 blocks. Dearica Hamby had 17 points and 18 rebounds. She had more rebounds than points. That's crazy. Double-double. Lexi Brown had 20 points and 6 assists. And then Kia Jackson had 9 points. These rookies are, oh my God, I love it. I love to see it. And then Stephanie Talbot, Ari McDonald, and Zaya Cook both played a few minutes, like less than 5 minutes each, but they weren't really effective on the floor. They didn't score. And then Euro, and Ray Burrell didn't play at all. I don't know why. But besides that, this was a fantastic game. I'm like, oh my God, these rookies are going off. They're way better than I expected. I'm highly impressed. I kind of feel like if you're not watching the W, you are missing out. This has been some very good games. I mean, it was like this last year. It was like this the year before. Every year it is so competitive. A lot of the games are decided by less than 5 points. Like these are the best of the best of the best with honors, you know. And I'm always surprised. I'm so happy. I've been a fan for 20 plus years, and the game just gets better and better and better. And I'm happy that there are some new eyeballs and more people watching. I hope that it spreads more evenly, but I get that people do have their allegiances to like one team or whatever. But I don't like that. I like to watch every game. I like to watch it all. I think it's very exciting, and yeah, it's been a wonderful season. I'm happy with how the direction of things, and I can't wait to watch more games. There will be more tomorrow. So I will see y'all then. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Later.